By now we know that more than one methods, more than one functions are allowed in a class as member functions. So can we have two methods with the same name in a class? In this video I will answer this question. Namaste everyone, I am Gyan and you are watching the session 4 of Java and Web, Methods as Flow of Control. In this video we will learn about the method signature and method overloading. This is the format of the method definition in Java. List of modifiers like public and static followed by the return type of the method, followed by the method name, and in between the parentheses we have list of arguments separated by the comma. And finally we have the throws keyword followed by the exception class name. At this time you may or may not know about the throws keyword and exception classes. We will learn about it later. And finally we have the method body. This is the overall format of the method definition. The method name and the list of arguments in the parentheses separated by comma are collectively called signature of the method. If two methods have different names, then they have different signatures. If two methods have different list of arguments, then they also have different signatures, even if the names are same. But if the two methods have same name and same arguments both, then both methods have same signature. List of modifiers, return type, throws keyword and exception class does not play any role while deciding the signature of method. Only the method name and the list of arguments decide the signature of the method. Two methods in the same class must have different signatures. That means two methods in the same class either have different names or different arguments or both. Wikipedia says in the Java programming language, a method signature is the method name and the number and type of its parameters. Return types and thrown exceptions are not considered to be a part of the method signature. Here all the three methods have same name but different arguments. So all the three methods have different signatures. Return type does not matter here. Above three methods are considered as three different signatures. These two methods high are not considered as different signatures because they have same name and same list of arguments. Return type does not matter here. So these two methods have same signatures. We can say two methods have different signatures if they differ in names of the methods, number of arguments, data type of arguments, and sequence of data type of arguments. Here you can see we have two methods with the same name. And these two methods have the same arguments. Both have one integer variable and one float variable. But in the definition of first method, the float variable occurs first, followed by the integer variable. In the second method, integer variable occurs first, followed by the float variable. So in this case, sequence of the data type of arguments are different. So above two methods have different signatures. Variable names in the formal arguments do not matter. Now the question is, what is the method overloading? If two methods have same name but they have different signatures are present in the same class, then the method with that name is called overloaded. That means if the two methods are present in the same class have different signatures, of course two methods can be present in the same class only if they have different signatures. But even if they have the different signatures, they differ by the list of arguments. They do not differ by the name. Then the method with that name is called overloaded method. This is the example of method overloading. Here we have two methods with the same name but different arguments. So both methods have different signatures. Names of both methods are add but their arguments are varying. The first method add have only one formal argument integer variable x. And the second method add have two formal arguments integer variables x and y. So when you call the add as only one integer as actual argument, then the method add with only one integer as formal argument will be called. And when you call the method add as two integers as actual arguments, then the method add with two integers as formal arguments will be called. So calling add1 will print x is equal to 1 and calling add2, 3 will print x is equal to 2, y is equal to 3. Let me try to execute this code in a Java program. Open method overloading.java and this is the code. Let me save and execute this code. Java C method overloading.java. Compiles fine, then run it. Java method overloading. It runs fine, printing x is equal to 1 and x is equal to 2, y is equal to 3. In this case, two methods were different in signature by number of arguments present in the parentheses. Here in this case, the two add methods are different in signatures because of the types of the formal arguments present in the parentheses. This method has the formal argument of type integer and this method has the formal argument of type character. When we call the method add as integer as the actual argument, then the method add with the integer as formal argument will be called. And when we call the method add as character as the actual argument, then the method add as the character with formal argument will be called. So when you call add method with 1 as actual argument, then it will print x is equal to 1. And when you call the add method with capital A as actual argument, then it will print x is equal to capital A. Let me try to execute this code in a Java program. Open method overloading.java and let me change it little bit. Right here charx, character x, and erase rest of the things. Here I want to print only x, so erase these things. Here I need to pass only character literal, capital A. Now calling this method, we'll call this one. Because we are calling this method with the integer as actual argument and this method is the integer with formal argument. And here we are calling the method with the character literal as actual argument and this is the method with the character as formal argument. So calling this method will print x is equal to 1 and calling this method will print x is equal to a. Let me save and compile this code. Java C method overloading.java. Compiles fine, then run it. Java method overloading. It runs fine, printing x is equal to 1 and x is equal to a. Here the first add method has only one formal argument, integer variable x. And the second add method has two formal arguments. One is integer variable x and other one is the character variable y. When we call the add method with only one integer as actual argument, then the method with only one integer as formal argument will be called. But when we call the add method with two actual arguments and both are integers, then there is no method to satisfy this signature. We do not have any method here whose both arguments are integers. Here we do not have a method which has two formal arguments and both formal arguments accepts the integers. So we do not have such method here. That's how calling add method like this with two integer actual arguments cause the error. Cause compile time error, no suitable method found for add integer. Let me try this code in a Java program. Open method overloading.java and this is the code. Let me write here. Let me pass here two actual arguments. First one is 2, second one is say 78. Change the formal arguments of the second add method. Right here int x, character y. Now the integer literal 2 can be copied into the integer variable x, but the integer literal 78 cannot be copied into the character variable y. Let me save and compile it. Java C method overloading.java. Compiler throws an error, incompatible types, possible lossy conversion from integer to character in this line. 78 is integer literal which we are trying to copy into the character variable y. If in the same program we pass the character literal instead of integer literal, then the add method whose formal arguments are integer variable and character variable will be called. Let me save and compile this code. Open method overloading.java and right here character A instead of 78. So now we are calling the add method with the two actual arguments integer and character. That's how the add method with the two formal arguments integer and character will be called. Let me write here value of y also. Right here y is equal to plus y. Save and compile it. Java C method overloading.java. Now run it. It runs fine, printing x is equal to 1, x is equal to 2, y is equal to a. Here you can see both methods have same formal arguments. Both have one character variable and one integer variable. But the order of occurrence of data types are different. In the first method definition, the character variable occurs first, followed by the integer variable. In the second method definition, the integer variable occurs first, followed by the character variable. So when you call the add method with the character literal followed by integer literal, then the add method whose formal argument is character variable followed by integer variable will be called. And when you call the add method with the actual argument as integer followed by character, then the method with the formal argument as integer followed by character will be called. So calling this method will print x is equal to a, y is equal to 1, and calling this method will print x is equal to 2, y is equal to b. Let me try this code in a Java program. Open method overloading.java. Right here character y pass here character literal a followed by 1. Write here 2 followed by character literal b. Also I want to print here value of y. Write here value of y. Now save and compile it. Java C method overloading.java compiles fine, then run it. Java method overloading. It runs fine, printing x is equal to 1, y is equal to a, x is equal to 2, y is equal to b. If you somehow write the two methods with the same signature, then the compiler will throw an error. Here we have two methods with the same signature. They both have the same name and they both have the same arguments in the same order. Both have the two integer variables. So when we compile the code, the compiler will throw an error. Method add integer comma integer is already defined in the class method overloading. That means compiler is thinking that we are redefining the same method. One point you need to remember that while deciding the signature of the method, we should consider only data type of the formal arguments. We should not consider the variable names of the formal arguments. So here data type integer is followed by data type integer. Here is also same the case. Data type integer is followed by the data type integer. Names of the both methods are same. So both methods have same signature. That's how the second one is considered as the redefinition of the method add. Let me try this code in a Java program. Open method overloading.java and write here character x followed by integer y. Let me remove this method call and copy this one. Right here capital B comma 2. Now look at the both methods. Both have the same name add and both have the character variable followed by integer variable. This one also have the character variable followed by the integer variable. Names of the variables in the formal argument does not matter. Only the data types of the formal arguments matters. So both methods have same name add and both methods have same arguments, character followed by integer and character followed by integer. That's how the second one, the second method definition, is considered as the redefinition of the first method. Let me save and compile this code and see what the compiler is saying. Compiler says error, method add character comma integer is already defined in the class. So we have the two methods with the same name and with same argument types in the same order. That's how both methods have same signature. We will learn more about the method overloading in the next video. That's all for this video guys. Don't forget to like and share this video, subscribe this channel if you are new and leave your valuable comments in the comment section below. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.